What's up? Welcome to another video. If you're new here, this is my 1940 Chevy pickup. It's powered by a 12-valve Cummins. We're going to be working on this today as usual. In today's project, I'm going to try and get the front axle underneath this thing, but we got to do some work to the axle, so let's get to it. Okay, what do we got here? Well, this is a 1987, I believe, Dana 60 out of a K2500 or 3500 dually. And first thing I need to do is take it all apart. You can see right here, these are the dual wheel hubs. I need to take those off. I have single wheel hubs to put on there. I have new calipers, new rotors. I'm gonna put different wheel studs in the new rotors. And then I gotta re-gear it because right now it's got a 373 gear in it and the rear axle has a 410 gear in it. So I need to change this to a 410 gear. And I also got a rebuild kit for the kingpins. So I'm gonna rebuild the kingpins, but let's get started. Yep. It's off to a great start. Wasn't asking. Alright, it's the dumbest design I've ever seen. Ow. Just need a bigger hammer, I guess. Got it. What? What in the hell? Oh, yes. Alright, got the hubs off. That was fun. Next I want to take this dust shield off because we don't need those where we're going. Alright, let me get these axle shafts out and then we can take the diff out. Idiot. Alright, wrong tool for the job. Unless it works, then it's the right tool for the job. Dang it. Banger. pinion. Okay, the last thing I need to take off the axle are these knuckles. So I guess let's take those off. Okay, I got the other knuckle off, and now the next step I need to clean up this entire axle, and that's going to take a couple days, so I guess I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, here we go. Okay, I'm going to change the ring and pinion out. I've got the old one here. I've got all new ring and pinion and bearings and shims from Motive Gear. So first thing I want to do is swap out this ring gear. Okay, here's the new ring gear. Okay, I got the axle housing all cleaned up, and I got new bearings for the pinion. I'm going to be reusing the original shims for now to see how close that gets me on the gear pattern. Also got a new pinion seal, so I got to put that in real quick. Okay, here's the new pinion. I'm going to be reusing the original shims off of the old pinion. Yeah. For the yoke. Okay, update. I had to pull it back out, take one of the shims out because it was too loose. Now it's just about right. Luckily the kit came with 2 nuts, so I was able to use a new nut again. Okay, next step I want to put the differential in. Ugh. Okay, next I'm going to check the gear pattern. Looks good enough to me, so I guess I can keep putting this thing together. Alright, next I want to replace these U-joints in these axle shafts before I reinstall them, but I got to press the old ones out before I get new ones, so let's do that. Okay, I'd love to say that I was able to just pop those U-joints apart, but that wasn't the case. I literally spent like 4 hours trying to get these axle shafts apart, so I just turned the camera off and wrestled with them forever, but finally got them apart, and now I can finally put them back together. Went to the auto parts store and got some new U-joints. So I guess let me press these back together. Okay, next I just got to get these clips installed. Okay, there's the second axle all assembled and ready to go back in. Fun fact, as I was greasing these, I ran out of grease in my grease gun, so I grabbed a new tube and accidentally shot an entire tube of grease into the garbage can, so that was fun. Anyway, these things have fought me every step of the process, but they're back together, and so I guess let's put them in the axle. Okay, these are the bearings for the kingpins. I just got to put some grease in it. The old one there. Alright, now we're ready for the knuckle and the lower kingpin. And we got a new gasket. New washer, a new spring, and a new cap. I've got this high steer bracket from Harsh Terrain that goes on top of all this. Alright, there's one kingpin assembled. Now I just gotta do the other side. Okay, now it's time to reinstall the spindle and the brake caliper bracket. Okay, there's the spindles installed. Okay, next up we got these wheel hubs. These are single rear wheel hubs versus the dually hubs that were on there. And before I can put these on, I want to change out the wheel studs because the factory ones are good for about a steel wheel and nothing else. So I got these longer wheel studs I'm gonna put in, but these need to be pressed out and the new one's gotta be pressed back in. Why am I changing these? Because since the day I got this truck, people have been asking me if I got the wheels yet. I might have the wheels. Anyway, I don't trust a 1/4 inch of thread to hold those wheels on, so I'm gonna press these out real quick, put these studs in. We're having fun. Alright, there's the longer wheel studs. Now I just got to put these bearings in here and they should be ready to install. Next we're going to put the hub back together the same way I took it apart. Sweet. Okay, there's the new calipers and pads. Now it's time for some brake lines. Alright, these are the brake lines I'm running. It's a stainless steel braided line from Russell. I was able to run it through the front of the knuckle over here. Made this little bracket to hold the flex line in place. Same with the other side. Now I just got to make a line. It's going to go from here to here. Okay, fun story. When I got this axle, I was under the impression that the steering dampener was going to be in the way of all my brackets and whatnot that I had to weld on here. So like an idiot, I just cut the steering dampener off, figuring I wouldn't run one, but I want to run one and there's plenty of room over here. So I'm going to make a new bracket that goes right here to mount a steering dampener. And then this axle should be all set. I love me a good bracket. Alright, I don't want to put the dampener back on just yet because I've got a new tie rod coming. It won't be here till later today. But in the meantime, let's get this absolute unit of an axle back installed underneath the truck. Alright, there's the axle rebuilt and installed. That was the last big project that I needed to do to this truck before it's basically done. There's still a couple of things that I need to do to the axle. I got to put oil in it and connect the brake line to the brake line on the frame and then bleed the brakes before it's usable. I also need to get a drive shaft. Right now it's a Bluetooth option. Anyway, there's only a handful of projects that I need to do before this thing's 100% done. So I guess if you want to leave a comment below, the next two things that I need to do are a headliner and a windshield. If you want to see a video on those, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I guess that's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you next time. No, no, no! What in the... You got the wheels yet?